Now, during that time, the court had to have knowledge through the pre-sentencing report that Dr. York also had the illness. Well, that issue was never brought up by the Nuwaubian court. Okay? And nobody within Dr. York's circle had openly made that an issue to the lawyers. Maybe they had done it, and maybe it just wasn't looked at. But I think had that would have been looked at, all right, then you would have had the judge, you would put the judge in a very precarious position where Dr. York, I think he had the serious of illness. He would have to decide, well, why would you let a woman off because of the illness, and let Doc not off because of this serious illness? See, that was an issue before that judge. And I believe that was purposely not done. Okay, that's my belief. Okay, so that effect would not have occurred. All right. As a result, Dr. York was in prison, sick, was deprived of his medicines, and his doctor was not allowed to come. His personal physician was not allowed to come and visit his patient. Okay, and that started a whole, a different process.
Now I've read in many articles that you suffer from a condition called hereditary angioedema.
That's correct.
Now, were you given your medicine at any time?
And it was informed from the Tama-Re that I'm on medication, and that I have a chronic disease that 30% of the people that have it die. Right? Especially, and it's really activated from aggravation, frustration, and tension, which could be more expressed by the way we was being harassed, attacked in the streets there in Bowen. So when I got up to Atlanta, which is the worst prison in the whole state of Georgia, which has been admitted in the newspapers, right? We told them I needed my medication, that I need this, and they wouldn't give it to me. I kept telling them I need medication. I told them what I had. They couldn't give it to me. Doctors, what they had no idea what angioedema was. So he was running around, a Filipino doctor, an Ethiopian doctor, a Latino doctor. They didn't know what to do, and they wouldn't do nothing about it. That's for sure. So I got locked into a cell, me and 3 other men. One of them was named happened to be Byron Pitt, so I happened to learn that he helped to save my life, in fact, because I was sleeping on the floor. One guy was sleeping on a bunk, another one was sleeping on another bunk, another one was sleeping under the bunk in a 2-man cell up there. Rats, roaches, filth. I mean, it's a mess. The dietary.
The RICO Act, or Racketeering, Influence, and Corrupt Organizations Act, is a statute originally enacted in 1970 to control organized crime, such as the mafia. The statute makes it unlawful to conduct or conspire to conduct an enterprise whose activities affect interstate commerce by committing or agreeing to commit a pattern of racketeering activity. To establish violations of RICO statute, 4 elements must be proven. 1. First, the prosecution must demonstrate that the defendants were associated with an enterprise as defined in the U.S. Code 18, Section 19614. 2, or second, the government must prove that the enterprise engages in or its activities affect interstate commerce. 3, or third, the government is required to prove that each defendant agreed to participate in the enterprise by actually committing or agreeing to commit at least 2 predictable offenses. A pattern of racketeering activities requires 2 or more predicate acts within a 10-year time frame and must be connected with each other in some logical manner for an unlawful end. 4, or the fourth, is that the government must prove that each defendant agreed to participate in the affairs of the enterprise by actually committing or agreeing to commit at least 2 predicate offenses.
Yeah. What it is, Dr. York was charged on the federal RICO statute that was designed to attack organized crime, the Italian mafia specifically. But what happened after the initial attacks on organized crime, the RICO statute was used, and there's a body of literature on this, was inappropriately used to attack certain black leaders, or it just inappropriately used generally. In this case, against Dr. York. And the reason for that is when you have an otherwise weak case, you can use the RICO statute, and it, I would say, basically alleviates the necessity of the beyond a reasonable doubt standard on a lot of, I guess, a direct criminal charge. In other words, you can do a very small thing, be linked with what they call unknown conspirators, and still be guilty of a crime, whether you knew or did not know the ultimate object of the conspiracy. Basically, that's what the RICO law says. And but this was more in the case of known organized crime figures. All right. Now, in the RICO charge, what's the necessary elements? You have to show racketeering activity, meaning you have to show more than one alleged crime. All right. Now, in this case, there was the government was trying to show interstate commerce was used, or the interstate was used, or there was transactions on in interstate commerce with the intent of committing a crime, which was child molestation. All right. That was one crime, and that was